Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are going to be listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Hello, Aries! Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Ooh. That's the Ace. No, this is the Ace of Cups. That's the Knight of Cups. Maybe. Let's see. Doesn't have to be romance. Could be, but it's more than likely something you're very passionate about, for sure. More than likely, for sure? Okay. Why not? Oh, your card. These are Oracle cards. They're not, like, bad, but, like, some of these, okay. Slap, slap, slap. I don't think anything's really bad, but there are some bumps. So let's get into it. You've inadvertently done a lot of work on the subject. Inadvertently? It's kind of like, I didn't really want to. This is what I needed to do, so I just got it done. I didn't really want to. This is what I knew. This is what I needed to do, so I just got it done. I keep getting that. There's a lot of healing here. Hot cold feeling with this in the past, with the work that was put in. I could make more of it. I don't know if I will. This is in the past. So when you were learning whatever you were learning, when you were getting into whatever you were getting into, it could be romantic, it could be personal, it could be business, it could be work, whatever. I was learning things. I learned how to do things better. I learned what didn't work. I learned what worked for me. I learned what I would not put up with. Even though maybe I thought I knew what I would not put up with, I learned through application what that actually meant. And why this and why that. And hot and cold. Like, at times I thought, well, this will work for me later. I could do something with this later. I don't know if I'm going to do something with this later. And even at times, like, I'm so sick of this, I never want to do this again. Very hot and cold, but you did put a lot of work into something. There was a lot of healing. There was a lot of learning. Like with all signs, I don't care what sign it was. You do have the Four of Swords here. You have healing. I don't care what sign it is. All of them. We learn as we get older. We refine as we get older. We just do. Well, okay, yes. We have the opportunity to refine. We have the opportunity to learn. We can do better. Okay. Okay. There's the possibility, and you have. If this reading is hitting, you have. Because I feel like immediately you're going to look at, like, oh, I could think of bucket loads of people who never cashed in on that one. Yeah. The opportunity is there, though. That's the point. And you have. With all of what you've invested and all that you've learned, I just feel like what it's coming forward is, like, you're having an opportunity to come into a new cycle. Do you have to? Obviously not. I feel like it's free will is a real thing, you know? But you've done so much healing, you've done so much learning, you've got so much behind you that people don't understand how much work you've done. This may be something that you can't really show. Even if you're showing somebody, like, look, I got this certificate, look, I got this degree, look, they still don't understand exactly what that means and what that actually entails, what you can actually do. It's almost like looking at a certain degree and, like, with a lot of colleges or ones that I'm familiar with, you have more of a well-rounded degree. So you have your major and you got your major, but they don't know all the things that you added in to create the specific flavor that you have. You know what I mean? There's a lot here. You know, but other people aren't going to see the full value that you are, for whatever that means to be. there's something coming forward, and it doesn't have to be pass fail, although Aries does seem like you're either in or you're out. um, I feel like I've said this a lot in Aries readings. Aries does not do well halfway. It just seems like it's gonna flunk. It's gonna be a very sad, pathetic ending if it's halfway. Just take it with a grain of salt. If I'm wrong, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. Aries is either like I'm in it and I'm gonna make it happen, or forget it and I'm gone. Halfway just seems to be very we don't have to drone on that. Let's move on, right? Okay. What's coming in, which the fact that I've now said that, the moon card coming in with a mystery, and it's kind of like something is here. It could potentially be good. Now the in or out part is this. You can go into this full board and find out what it is. Does that mean you're going to keep it? No. Does that mean you're going to throw it away? No. But if you go into it full board, full intent, you'll find your answers. If you just kind of dance around it, I just feel like it's just so foggy and just like, what are we doing? Why are we bothering? If you decide nope, no, just no. If you decide no, then no is no. It's the middle ground. That really bothers me with Aries sometimes. If you get into the middle ground, it's either in, all right, let's find out. Out, okay, bye. I seem to feel like if you choose one way or the other, you get a good energy going one way or the other. The floundering, it doesn't seem to work well. The Ace of Cups is here. Something you really want, something really beautiful. This is a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. You want to do your own research. Make sure things add up correctly. You know what I mean? Don't run with scissors if you follow me. Don't run with scissors. Yeah, but I'm safe. Yeah, don't run with scissors. Don't run with scissors. It's beautiful, but it's at the same time, as you're discovering it, say you go full board into it just to see what it's about. It's very beautiful, but it's also kind of like, yeah, but it's going to need work. It's kind of like finding this house in a great location. It's not the worst, but like we got to do some work with the roof. We got to update the plumbing. We got to update the electrical. There's going to be some work here. Can it be beautiful? Looks like it. It's going to take some work. I can do it. Do I want to do it? Am I going to invest the time? Going full board will at least get you that far to see potential. Is the value there? Is the structure actually sound enough to withstand the work I need to do to it and still flourish for years beyond that? You'll find those answers. Then comes the next level. Now that I know what I know, am I still in and I'm going to stay in, or this might be the point where you actually still have the option to go, I'm not going to do this. I don't feel like this is a bad thing. I'm not saying, especially if it's a romance thing, all right, maybe the other side will be bent out of shape if you decide to go, but you know, it's better to leave than to do it halfway. I'm just saying. My opinion, you got to decide for yourself what you feel is right. But I don't feel bad if you get that far into it and you're like, you know what, I don't really want to do this. This is more than I want to be a part of. This is more than I really am interested in creating right now. And you're kind of like, you know what, I just want to go. I don't personally, the energy I'm feeling, feel bad about that. I'm not saying everybody else is going to feel warm and fuzzy about that decision. Just to be fair. That's if it goes a romance way, or even if it goes a business way. You may get so far in and be like, you know what, before I sign that contract, I'm not gonna. They may not like it, but hey, you got to make the decision that's right for you. There does seem to be a moment here, if you keep moving forward, it's either pass or fail. Wheel of Fortune is reversed. In other words, we're not taking anything to chance. Seven of Wands reversed is like letting down the walls and finding out what's there. Full board right into it. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. What does that say? Destiny in the Judgment card. Destiny meant to get you to this point. Destiny isn't going to push you forward to make a choice. Destiny wants you to see the option and be educated about it at the very least, hopefully. So it's kind of like Destiny to me is like saying you're coming up to this point in the road it's either going to be foggy and you're not really going to pay attention, or you're going to be like, you know what, this road, neither of these roads are for me, I'm going home. I'm out, done. They're preferring you have an educated decision going into it. So if you're full board into it to find the information, you can make an educated decision. Destiny is bringing you to the choice. Destiny is not making the choice for you. Getting to the choice and then making it, like, some of you might do this. It's up to you. There's no wrong. I'm not saying anything is wrong, but it's stressing me. Going into it halfway, I really take it with a grain of salt. Going into it halfway and then getting to the point where you need to make this choice and not really having the adequate information. And it's just like, it's too little too late to actually get the adequate information. It's almost like, all right, now we got this far, left or right. And it's kind of like, if you were kind of like floundering on the way in, like half in, half out, you're not going to have the information to make the educated decision. No matter what decision you make, you're not going to know if you made the right decision, if you follow me. Trying to make your mind up like at that point, it just doesn't seem like it's going to serve you. The magician comes in at that point where you have to make it something. And then it's kind of like there's a lot of errors here. Making it... Okay. This isn't, it's in the position of the layout where it's like this doesn't work as well as it could. The Tower card comes in like this. The King of Cups comes in upside down. I just feel like I just feel like I got stuck and I had to make a decision and I'm not happy about it. And it's just, when Aries is not happy, Aries is not happy. And kind of being painted into a corner and then realize I was painted into a corner. No matter what decision you make, you're not going to be happy with it. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. If you were educated in it, if you got into it and you found out the information, like it's the halfway that bothers me. But it's either left or right. It just feel like it's either you're in or you're not. Halfway just is such a mess. But if you're educated about it, which is interesting, there's a scholarly thing here, and I feel like very much Aries knowing what they want, knowing what's actually here, kind of going, all right, I'm in it, let me find out what the deal is, using their intellect to pull it together. And even like you get to this thing, you're like, all right, you know what? I know what's been going on. I've seen this. I've seen that. We're going to stop the bus right here at this corner, and you're going to answer 5 questions, and you better answer them satisfactory, or you can forget this whole thing. I don't mean to come across militant, but I feel like this is what, like, kind of like the other version of this. Yeah, I see the fork in the road. I know we're moving at 60 miles an hour. Stop the bus. I need a question. I have 5 questions you need to answer, or I'm just out. And that's just what it is. I'm not going to choose either road. You answer my questions. We stop here. Pull over to the side of the road. We're going to stop, and you can take a half hour to answer my questions. And if I like what I hear, I'll choose one or the other. If I don't like what I hear, I'm out. I'll walk home. I'm good. That's the version I'm getting here with the study card, because when I saw it, I'm like, this is interesting. Because I keep seeing this like you're going towards this fork in a road, and typically it's kind of like we got the momentum going. Which way we're going to go? Which way we're going to go? And you're like, stop the bus. I will ask my questions, or just stop the bus and let me out, because we're not doing this. Yes, I know we got to keep going, but you can spend a half hour. Maybe we're late. I don't really care. Answer my questions if you want a good answer from me. And this is you taking control. This is you all in. If you're not all in, you're kind of floundering in and out, then you're not. I feel like I'm going to default one way or the other. This is you all in, taking control and going like, oh no, I have questions, and you will answer questions before I make that decision. I hope that came across right, because I know it's coming across a little militant, but I feel like in the moment it may not. When if you're at that point and this does happen, if this reading hits with you, I just feel like it's trying to make a point. We're trying to make a point with that. Like, this is what, that is what, this is how, all that stuff. The point is, for whatever's coming, this moment coming up is the judgment moment. that's also being backed up in the environment with the world. Like it's either in or out. The halfway, I'm really nervous about the halfway thing. No matter what you choose, in or out, this side has to decide, like has to accept one way or the other. The halfway isn't going to make it. There's a lot of healing and wisdom there if you're able to make the left or right decision. Like I'm either in or I'm out. There's no wrong decision for that I can see. It's a general read, not for nothing. But I'm getting, if you're able to give them that, like I saw it and I said no, or I saw it and I said yes. Either way, having that crisp answer, crisp, why not? That does create a lot of healing, and it helps them understand, like, maybe you're going to say no. And then they have to pull back and go, well, why did Aries say no? Maybe I need to look at my situation a little better, be it business or otherwise, and understand, like, why did Aries say no? Maybe I need to think about that a little bit more. Versus, like, if you said yes, things will go very well for them. And for you. You got good cards coming up. But still, there's a lot there. Like, left or right, as long as it's a, this is what I want, that is what I don't want. And you're, like, on point. There's something about a flounder energy. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Like, if I'm missing it, is there something about the floundering energy that I'm supposed to say that I'm missing? I just usually think of Aries as either in or out. It's this. It's the past. It's kind of like, I've gone through this before, and I have trepidation about getting into it again. Which, again, it's this halfway thing isn't working. It's kind of like, all right, yeah, I've gone through a lot. Let me see what this is about. Let me see if it's worth my time. That's the in. Or, you know what, I've gone through this before. I don't want to do that again, and I make my decision. I'm out. That makes sense. It's making your mind up. I will try this. I will not try this. And again, this comes in two stages. I will find out if this is something that's worth it. That's the first stage. That's being all in. I will find out if this is something that's worth it. That is digging in, really investing and finding out. That is the all in. So, like, I think maybe that's where I'm making it sound a little weird. So, like, this going in two stages and you all in, discovering if it's worth it, that is the all in. You kind of going, I'll show up a little bit. I'll do what I have to do. I just want to watch from the background. That's the flounder one. Kind of like, I'm just taking a passive role just to see what shows up, just to see who walks by. That's the floundering. The two stages of, like, I want to get in there, I'm going to ask my questions. If this is worth it, I want to find what's worth it. If this is not worth it, I want to find out why it's not worth it. That's the active, I'm choosing to find out energy. So hopefully I'm making sense with that. You know what I mean? Just Aries just sitting back going, we'll see who walks by. That's the flounder part. In case it sounds confusing. So getting back into where I was, if we can get back there. If we go into, you're going to either choose yes or no, I feel like you're going to make up your mind one way or another. If you get into it and you're saying, yes, I will, it will go fine. You will get the connections you want. You will find a reason to invest in this. Also, though, if you say no, you'll free up space in your energy. And you will make a decision about, yeah, I may know a lot about that, but if I was going to do it, I'd have done it there. I decided I wasn't going to do it, so I'm moving on to other things. You will free up a lot of space in your energy. It's weird how the let go is coming in, because it's kind of like letting go of the like, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. In making the decision, letting go is either, yes, I'm getting in and I'm going to do it, or letting go and like, no, I'm not. And then I'm leaving the problems of the past in the past, and I'm letting the positive energy come in, and it seems to go very well for you. I just need to make it really clear, like, this is not a you should do it or you should not do it type thing. This is a, like, if you could make that direct, I'm invested to find the answer, this is why yes, this is why no, and invest that whatever way is appropriate for you, that will either get you into something that's very good and you can flourish with it because you want to be there, or you say no and you free up space so other better things can take up that space in your life. All right, I'm going to shut that down there. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.